Hello, my name is Paul. Thanks for joining me here for my presentation on the invasive plant species purple loosestrife, Lythrum salicaria. Purple loosestrife is a wetland plant with showy purple flowers, typically arranged in these beautiful flower spikes. So purple loosestrife was brought to North America in the 1800s, and it's since found all over North America, primarily in wetlands, but in marshes, also along the edges of lakes, even in wet ditches. It's usually arranged in pairs with leaves on either side of the stem, and they're rotated 90 degrees from the pair below. They're smooth-edged leaves, and they grow up to about 4 inches long. One of the ways to recognize purple loosestrife from some of its native plants that look similar are the purple loosestrife will have a square stem, such as you get to a more mature plant closer to the ground. It's very square. Usually has 5 or 6 pink to purple petals surrounding a small yellow center on their flowers. And again, as I mentioned before, they're made up into flower spikes that can be up to a foot tall, and the plant can be 5, 6, all the way up to 8 feet tall. Typically they're blooming in July through September. One of the big problems with purple loosestrife is that a single mature plant can produce 1 million to 2 million seeds per season. And so here in Ohio, where I live now, this is primarily a threat in the northern Ohio, up towards Lake Erie in the northeast by Cleveland, but it is an issue throughout Ohio and the greater Midwest as well. This plant spreads mainly through ribosomes, through its roots. They're very woody, and they can send out shoots that are 30 to 50 feet underground laterally. So a very dense, thick web, and they can take over entire areas. And so we'll talk about a little bit here in the problems. As it grows rapidly, it outcompetes local plants. Again, as it has so many seeds, the seeds can last up to like 6 years. So even if they are sprayed or killed, these seeds can stay around, come back the next year, and the population of purple loosestrife can continue to get worse year after year. This plant is originally native to Europe and Asia, and so it was brought over here because it is very pretty flower, as you saw in the previous pictures. Some of the native lookalikes are fireweed and blue vervain. Again, some of the threats here is that it can grow so densely that it can grow along the shoreline, making it difficult to access open water. It overtakes habitat and outcompetes native aquatic plants, potentially lowering the diversity of the area. Provides unsuitable shelter, food, and nesting habitat for native animals, and the dense root systems change the hydrology of wetlands. Early infestations of purple loosestrife can be managed by hand weeding with a single plant. Typically what you would do is go cut and bag the flowers, take them out of there, burn the flower, dispose of that, and then spray a herbicide on the remaining plant. There is also some promising study that's being done on biological controls in Ohio and also in other Midwestern states where they're using beetles that prey primarily upon this purple loosestrifes and not other native plants, and that's shown to be very effective. Herbicides again are effective for small groves. However, they've seen significantly reduced efficiency on subsequent years as they're growing more. The purple loosestrife is showing some prohibitiveness to the spraying. Local gardeners and land managers can plant some other things that are also beautiful and similar, like a spiked blazing star, the blue labella, the fireweed and blue vervain that I mentioned earlier, or the cardinal flower and the rose mallow, to name a few. Some of the references that I used here: the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and a 2016 paper by Goodall and Parker. If you have any questions about purple loosestrife, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment below, and we can talk about whether or not or what you have to say, and maybe purple loosestrife is a problem where you live as well. We can talk about some preventative and solution methods that I learned about outside of the scope of this presentation.